Okay, yeah, we're back. Welcome back to another episode of the Experience Podcast, aka TEx Podcast, and I am your host, Teck-Zilla. And on this episode, we have the one and only Soul Snatcha.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, finally,
Finally.
yeah, finally, because I don't even know where to start because you are going to help me start this thing. Like, it's like I've known you all my life.
I mean,
But you understand, like both we could say it could be from afar, but like someone like
same here.
you understand, like we
Yeah.
know you, that kind of thing. But like I haven't really sat down to prick your brains or like
Mm.
talk, like really talk. You get, so I think this is like an opportunity for me to do that. That's what,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So let's start from the beginning though. Like growing up you grew up in Lagos, right?
Yeah. I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Festac.
Oh wow,
Well, I
nice.
used to think I was born in Colombia. It's for a long time. And I used to say in secondary school that I was born, in Colombia. That we were the people who made cocaine popular, were drug lords. But then my mom heard me say it and said, "No, no, you were born in Colombia Hospital in Yano Solo."
Wow.
And like, wow, that really broke my heart. But yeah, so I was born Columbia Hospital, Yano Solo. We're living in Festac at the time. Yeah,
Oh wow. See, like even those little tiny things like this, like tidbits, I'm like, it still it boggles my mind when I hear you talk about when people talk about these little tiny things that kind of like in a way shaped you in a way,
yeah,
responsibility, accountability, and being aware of who you are, and you not being afraid to be like, yeah, this is who I am, even though
yeah.
I thought I was something else.
hmm
So like, but like growing up like with music, like did you grow up around music or
Okay,
some?
so my mom, just sorry, just a moment. I need to put on my focus. So do not disturb. Sorry. Yeah. Am I back?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I can hear you.
So yeah. So growing up, I'm the sixth of seven kids, and my mom worked as a banker, and my dad was worked. He started out. I mean, before I was born, he started out with a film unit, and later moved to Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN. That's Radio Nigeria 2 back in the day was the popping radio station. And so growing up, my dad had thousands and thousands of records, both from Nigerian artists and foreign artists, and each one of the records were autographed to him. So, and he produced a lot of radio shows. Like there was Love Cutthroat Junction. There's a radio drama. There was Under 10, which my sister and I did for a while. It was a radio interview show with kids under 10, interviewing music artists. I vividly remember interviewing Majek Fishek, interviewing Femi Kuti when he left his dad's band to form the Positive Force, interviewing Tosin Jegede, which every kid had beef for growing up because all the parents were like, "Can't you be like Tosin Jegede?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So I grew up in the radio because my dad would always take me to radio station, and I think it was that also introduced me to hip hop because my dad was producing a show that I think was presented by J back in the day, and first time I heard was Run DMC and Aerosmith Walks This Way, and I was like, that's what I want to do. So there was music all over the house. My brother would perform shirtless, over a Fela record, and my sisters would be at the back doing with Momorogun, doing backup dancers and all that. So yeah, there was music everywhere around me. I grew up with music. Our house was the bubbling on serious house. So there was just music everywhere. That's why I was surprised when my dad was surprised to hear me go into music.
Wow. Look, like there's so many. I don't even know where to from all the things because there's so many cultural elements, so many cultural icons you
Mm.
mentioned, and that was what you were doing at 10.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. You're not even 17. I'm saying 10.
No. Same.
I yo where do I even go from here now? Because I mean, there are like you're not only a rapper, songwriter, you're also an actor. Some people forget.
Actor, radio presenter. I mean, I was on radio for 4 years.
Yeah, a lot. I think a lot of people tend to.
Yeah, hold on. Even radio, TV hosts, all sort of other things. I hosted a radio on Echo FM for 4 years called Music Mix, and there were just a certain hip hop music that weren't being played that came out of Nigeria, weren't being played on radio because Payola had started in that era, and I just like if it's good, I'm gonna play it. So I wasn't even paid to work there, but I just said, look, I could do it for free. And then I hosted Lyricist Lounge by Sound City. Sound City had Lyricist Lounge. It was first hosted by Sound Sultan, then Mode 9, then me. I hosted that for a season and a half. I did Camps in the Neighbors. Then I hosted FA Now Music, then had this Lyricist. Was it called Lyricist? Yeah, it was also called Lyricist Lounge that they did at The Place. It was a live show. It was first hosted by LD Extra Large, then Andre Blaze,
Oh, okay.
then I hosted it also. So I hear they made a comeback recently, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I hosted it for a while. But yeah, it was. So
Wow.
I did a lot of acting, a lot of show hosting, a lot of radio, a lot of TV. A stage. I also acted. I did Tazan monologue, which was a response to vagina monologue. So then I did the Tarzan monologue, which is the male side of the vagina monologue. Then we now did the Tarzan versus vagina monologue that had Bimbo Manuel, Kate Henshaw, Ireti Doyle, OC, Lala. It was. So
Wow.
I tried.
No, this is what I tried because it's extensive, and this is not even exhaustive.
Mm,
Like so many
no, no.
behind you, like so many notches on your belt and everything. Because I was going to ask you, actually, what I was going to ask before was like, how did you even break into the media world, recording, acting? But what you just said, pretty much, like you
Thumbs up.
just happened to be in it, like you were like deep in it at the very young age.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that that made it easier for you to like transition through like the different aspects of media or the different fields?
It didn't. Nothing comes easy. I had to more or less hustle and fight for everything. Because, first of all, it was the fact that my parents, when I told them I wanted to really focus on music and all that, of course, no family. Because then we were doing it for the funny thing, we were doing it for the love. We weren't doing it for the money. We were doing it for the love, and the love cannot feed you. So I understood their fear in the fact that no, get a regular job and things like that. But I had to fight through that. Also, then the industry. Also, there were so many things, especially the fact that with music in itself, we were Christian, and our style of music did not look Christian. So it's trying to get the church people to recognize and understand where we're coming from and who we are, and at the same time also letting the streets know that we're dope.
Yeah,
So try and get accepted in the street and try and get accepted in the church. And at a point in time, we're like, we don't even send anybody. Let's just do us. Then but media. I got into media by meeting a friend of mine, Kenny Joseph. He's a film writer, an amazing guy. He had a show. He worked with Echo FM then, and we just hung out a lot and had different, the same perspective when it comes to music. And he was like, "Hey, I have a Saturday 4 hour show. Can you come do a 1 hour on it and talking about music?" And so Clever and I started it. After a while, it was just me, and we did that. I did that for a while. Even after he left the station, I was still there up until maybe I did it for about 2 3 years, and then I got while in the FM. I was going to the canteen. I was just talking with my guys and Tunjiban Shigmin, the guy who wrote Palace and some other TV series. He was like, "I love your mannerism and that. Do you act?" I'm like, "Yeah, I act a fool, but yeah." And he was like, "No, I mean, I think you'd be good." I was like, "Okay." So he said he has this idea of a TV show that's kind of like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but Nigerian style, Camps and Neighbors. I was like, "Oh, okay, sounds good." Saw the script, liked it, and I did Camps and Neighbors for a couple of years. And so just being in that space and meeting people and connecting and finding opportunities and taking over. And sometimes it was I just wanted to get my foot in the door, even though I wasn't being paid for it, even though, you know, just get my foot in it. I did even stand-up comedy for a while. When I was in uni, because I started off as a stand-up comedian. I went into uni and I won't mention his name, he's famous stand-up comedian. He was doing a show and we paid to go for the show. And like, this guy is not funny now. I can do better. When I talk with my guys, I make more. So I was like, I can do better. So they did, and I started doing, and I went for a concert, and they had issues with the sound, and I stood on stage, and I held the crowd down for about an hour just telling jokes. I'm like, oh, so there's money in this thing. I can make money, So sometimes I do a bit of that, and so I just look out for somewhere like I can fill that spot. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing until I was like, I'll figure it while I go for it, as long as I have an interest in it.
Wow. I didn't even know that part of you. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
really dabble in different fields. It's amazing. I don't even know what to add to that. But in fact, like that answers like some of the other questions I had in mind and everything. But now let's talk about leaving Nigeria, moving to the UK. Hot topic.
Huh?
Hot topic.
Hot,
That's
very hot.
very hot. Like,
Mm.
what how did you, like, when did you reach that point? Because every time I talk to people like in the industry and everything that moved over, I think they reached a tipping point and they were like, you know what, it's time for a change. So I'm just trying to get your perspective on it.
To be honest, I don't know if I actually reached a tipping point. I know I was really involved in a lot of, fight for social justice. I was a part of Enough is Enough. I was one of the, and we would have meetings on, what to do. We put together what's that? Occupy Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Occupy Nigeria one, the one, but which was hijacked by Labour later, and we just wanted justice and all that. So, but it got to a point where I saw some of the people that we stood with. I know some of them, their intentions were, you have to be in it to fix it and all that, but we're supposed to be a non-partisan group and all that. And to me, it just seemed as if they fight for a greater Nigeria. Boys, they use this greater Nigeria fight cash in.
Yeah.
They use that cash out, and I was like, that's not me. And so I put that aside, but it was coming to the UK. I Rooftop MCs at the point we wanted to go on a break because we just needed to evaluate what we were doing and our music. If it now became more about the fame and the money than God itself and Himself, and we're like, look, let's take a pause and reevaluate where we are with God. And coming to the UK, I'm meeting my wife. I just thought, and back then people used to say to Rooftop MCs that you guys are ahead of your time, and also you're in the wrong climate. Maybe if you're in the UK or America, they'll appreciate your style more. And so coming here, but the hope was that Clever was going to come. But I just got to the point where I felt, I started having a family here. I was hoping to be going back and forth, but I just felt that I needed a change of environment. I mean, it wasn't the season then. It wasn't the time where people were jackbuying. As a matter of fact, there's a particular fellow, he's a comedian. He came to my house in the UK. Then I was in East London, living in East London. Then he came over to my house. We had a lot of people come around. Then it was during the Olympics in 2012. So, so we had a lot of Nigerians come. And he came and he was like, he just doesn't get how someone said to me that I don't understand the logic of it. How can someone be making so much money and doing so well in Nigeria and then abandon all that and move to another country? That can never be me. I mean, recently, as I speak, he's in America now. I just stumbled on this podcast like, maybe this guy, he said don't move.
I think I know.
So but at that time, it wasn't really a thing. People weren't jackbuying, so moving for me was more of, this is where I felt that God wanted me to be, the new horizon. There's new things to do, but it had to take a while for me to understand why I was here.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense because like I always say, like people have different reasons. That's why I don't really. I try not to get caught up in like the on the internet when people talk about Jack Bryan. People always
Mm,
think how they
exactly.
like they always have like blinders on. They don't trying to see different.
Mm,
That's just the sad part of it. And we haven't even gotten into the history of Rooftop MCs. I think that's a different podcast because that's another long history.
yeah, it's gonna be long.
I didn't bring it up. And shout outs to So Clever too. There's a reason
Yeah,
why
it's clever.
because that's a different, it's a different element, different lane. The history you guys made with the songs, like
Mm.
breaking away from the norm. At that time, it wasn't
Mhm.
normal. You guys were not normal at that time.
I hope we're still not normal. I seriously hope so.
And also, I know you guys are working on something. I've seen it. I read about it because I'm always working in the background. You're working with people I work with, essentially. So
Yeah. Have you heard the song?
not yet, not yet. But
Okay.
there's a reason why they didn't play for me. Don't mind them.
Okay.
I'll listen to it. But I read about it. They talked about
Mm.
everything, and I'm glad like at least you guys are still working.
Oh yeah.
You have put out like besides you guys put out some singles back then. You yourself you put out like handfuls.
Yeah, and this year I'll probably be putting out a song every month.
Yeah. So at least that work thing is still going on because I know it is
Yeah.
change when you come in. Yeah, you know how it is. People get yeah. Let's not even that's a different podcast as well.
Oh yeah.
That's a different podcast. So like I'm really happy about that. Like the new single
Thanks. Thank you.
with Maka, with Mode 9.
Mm.
Also X-Bay. X-Bay is my guy too.
Ah, X Blaze.
Yeah, way back. Like all the people you're working with are my guys, that my
Even
people.
we have one pending work.
Yeah. We do.
We do.
Yeah, we
We
will
need to visit that.
we'll get back to it definitely. So yeah, now like just give me a brief like a breakdown. Like how do you balance personal and professional your professional life? Yeah, like is it different now? Like are you still soul snatcher? Yeah, mainly, or you're just you?
Ah, wow. Well, it's difficult to even find a balance in the sense that I'm everything, because I still last year it was difficult. I realized that last year I only put out one song, a song with X Blaze and Samurai.
Yeah.
It was that's the only song I put out because I've been busy trying to with the family, busy with work, because busy. So work would really took and preeminence. And but one of the things that I said to myself when I moved into this UK is that whatever I do, the music, the creative has to still be forefront.
Mm.
I refused. I said to myself that I'd rather hustle. I'd rather because there's a thing about coming into the UK, especially specifically the United Kingdom. You should come with your dreams. Then UK comes with reality and talks to you about bills. They will be if they can bill you for breathing, they'll bill you for breathing. So you're stuck in a place where you like, okay, I want to make ends meet.
Mm.
But the issue with making ends meet is that ends, they know they like meat. It be like say they quarrel.
Yep.
So they know they like meat. So you're in that hamster wheel, hustling, collecting shifts. I was speaking to someone yesterday and we're talking and the person was like, hold on for a minute. After a while, hold on for a minute. We're talking about the creative. We're trying to get him a gig and he was like, hold on for a minute. It's like, sorry, mon fashelo and basically I'm hustling. And I'm thinking, well, do you have time to work on your gifts? Do you have time to practice? I saw another friend one time at his job, and I was like, it's great. Shout out. I mean, big ups for you doing your thing, but what's up with your music? Don't forget that because you get to a point where you are dissatisfied. Yes, your bills are paid, but you're just not happy.
Mm.
So I made a decision to myself that, irrespective of what I do, my music will still be paramount. That I would not let go of it, even if I'm doing it for the fun of it. Even if it's not bringing money, I will continue. That's my happy place. I mean, that can pay the bills, but it will not make me happy. But I will still keep doing what makes me happy. And one of the reasons why I said, okay, this year I will still balance it out by ensuring that I still do that. I still do music. And it's even great that my wife was also into music. So we're always in that zone, in that space, inspiring each other. Like, oh, she just dropped one, me I go drop foul. So I just decided that irrespective, I need to still find time to ensure that this is what makes me happy. And also for me, because I also don't do music for people. My creativity is for myself. So it's to heal me, is to send a message to me, is to make me happy. So I do it for me and hope that when people hear it, because if I was doing it for other people, I'm like, then I'll be watching, oh my God, my Spotify numbers are dropping. Oh, I don't have Spotify numbers. I don't have that. But if I was doing it for myself, that's what matters. And whoever jumps on it, oh, okay, they fill out. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think that's the crux of the matter now, because it should be at least therapeutic to a large degree.
Exactly.
Like, just have fun with it, and
just have fun.
That's the gospel I try to preach to people. Like, once your music starts becoming a job, well,
that becomes hard work.
That's it. And you can't have two hard works. You'd rather have a hard work where I go and work. I also
exactly.
But my music, I go there for me. Like, find time, find peace.
Exactly.
UK never stops. You know how it is. The work pace never stops.
Never.
Yeah, because most people are like one shift away from losing their
house. Oh yeah.
Away. But hey, we will survive. But now let's quickly go over this, like how the media industry has changed over the years, like over your career. Like, how did you, because you started like way back, so you must have seen the gradual so, like, in your own perspective, like your own view, like, how do you think it has changed, for better or worse?
It's a mix of both, in the sense that now media has been decentralized, so it's now come one, come all. So, which means there's no quality control, which anybody with a phone and internet is automatically a media guru.
Yep.
Everyone's giving advice, everyone's doing stuff, everyone's saying what you should do or what you shouldn't do. So as much as it's decentralized, I mean, I remember when we recorded Shock Therapy, I was trying to get it to the radio station. I remember going to Cool FM and sitting outside at the reception area waiting for a presenter to pass by. And after 3 hours or 4 hours of waiting, Dan Foster finished his shift and was going home. And I was like, hey, here's my CD. And I was like, man, what's this? I just printed out the CD and wrote with Biro, Shock Therapy, Rooftop MC. Said, I don't care if it's gold that's in here that is not well packaged. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm just going to put it in the pack. So I went to Cool Cafe. They just opened Cool Cafe then. I printed out. I went on MySpace. I saw our picture on MySpace. I used CorelDRAW. Then we had those paint CorelDRAW stuff to write Rooftop MCs, Shock Therapy, printed it out in full color, put it there, went back, waited for him to come for his night shift, gave him the CD. He was like, aha, now I'll listen to it. And he listened and he got hooked on it. I went to see a guy who was in a comium. He was like, I was hearing your music. I want to do an interview. He did an interview. The interview came out like 3-4 weeks after. But today, you can do an interview now. 10 seconds is online. You can, our Shock Therapy, we recorded it at a Real Mix studio. In Real Mix studio, we've had Blur. Blur come all the way from America to record in that studio. That's where all the major Fuji artists record. That's Africa. It was Africa's best recording studio, and we're using ADAT. As a matter of fact, I went to Nigeria in October last year, and I saw some of our DAT tapes and all that. I was like, nah, I have to keep this and all of that. And so I was like, we're recording. Our very first beat was done on a a Yamaha 630. Later, we advanced to Korg. That's where we used to do our beats on Korg and have it on diskettes. I remember going to a concert and putting our diskette in. I was like, yeah, to perform, to putting, one time that we mistakenly formatted the diskettes and wiped out our performance. We're not telling people, your hands, clap your hands. But now it has changed. People record their songs on iPhones, on laptops. And now songs have gone from 4 minutes, 3 verses, to 2 verses. I was writing a song. I'm currently writing the song, and they're like, "Oh God, nobody they do 16 bars again. You need to do 8 bars, 8 bars. You repeat the chorus 4 times." And I'm like, it's now an all comers affair. Everyone coming. It's good and it's bad. So it's a mixture of both. And even when TV, you see YouTube, everybody's doing the skits on YouTube and taking pranks too far. Skits are going too far. So I'm excited for it, and at the same time, I'm like, ugh.
There's always a bad side to it.
Yeah. And sometimes it seems as if the bad side looks like they are, because like one rapper said, or the man like Namumu de Blue. So everybody wants to be a fool.
Yeah.
To get that attention. Now we're not musicians anymore. We are content creators.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
I'm thinking I'm dropping a song with Mode 9 Maka is coming out on Friday. We're planning on, I want to shoot the video, but at the same time, while we're waiting to shoot the video, I want to record 5 reels. So I'll be dropping a reel a day just to get. That's what. When you so much to do, you have to do all of that. There's so many, like.
That's just life. Because on the side,
take the fun out of it.
Yeah, it does, because it's like, it's in a way, it's kind of like work.
Yeah, it's not becoming work.
I do project manage artists, like trying to release singles and stuff, and it's the same thing. The plan. The music, you do the music, yes, fine and good. But now, okay, promo. Everybody's looking at calendar. Okay, calendar. This is what we're gonna do. So everybody's like lined up. Okay, you have to go and record again, like what you said, 5 reels. Get your friends to do something. Get
look for influencers to help you dance to it.
Just like, I wish. I mean, like, it's fun, but then again, you have to look at it from a different lens. Like that, we're all content creators, no matter how much you slice it. Whether you like it, you have no choice.
You have no choice.
No choice, So, I mean, that's the era we live in, but you just have to make
it where you fit in.
Yeah, get in where you fit in, though. So, like, okay, before we go now, advice. We need advice. I always try to get, like, the OGs to talk about. Give us something for us, like advice for newcomers in this field. It could be, I don't know, acting, music, or in general.
Okay. I think in music, one of the things you should do is do music, do arts, do whatever it is for yourself. Find a way to find your target niche, find your micro niche, and build that community. One of the things that I try to do is to build that community, find out not everybody will accept your song, not everybody should be a fan of your music. And that desire to blow, forget, no, there's no such thing. Trust me, you don't have the amount of people like Davido, Wizkid, and the rest of them put into promotion. Do you have it? Except you do. But if you don't, be consistent with your music. First things first, let the music be good. Be consistent, be up to date with what people are doing. Find a way to streamline. Like for me, after we're done here, I need to do a bit of work, but I just need to also do a message. I have a community that I'm slowly building. And before every music comes out, they get it ahead. And they pay whatever they want. Some of them don't pay at all. They just download it for free. Some of them pay £1. Between £1, I've had someone pay £50 for one song. I've had someone pay £500 for one song. And there are different levels and different things that I give them when they do that. The person that paid £500 had I do a show every year, free access to my show, gets I have merch, gets my merch for free, and also the person is also named in name only executive producer of that work they paid for.
Oh, okay.
So it's because it's freemium, we have to give sorry, my heating timer is beeping. Okay. because music nowadays is free.
Oh.
So but you have to I'm doing something called freemium. So it's putting a premium on it. So just basically, but what I'm more excited about is the fact that I have all their email addresses and their birthdays and all of that. What Spotify would not give me.
Okay.
So I have 200 emails of people who have either bought my music or downloaded it for free.
Nice.
And so on their birth, so every year when people are doing this year, at the end of the year, when people are doing their Spotify rap, I'm looking at my list to see who spent the highest on me. And those are the people I post on my Instagram as my Spotify rap, my supporter of the year. And so things like that. Look for how you can gather that tight niche and slowly build, because it's a process. Slowly build. Don't be in a hurry. Just build slowly and just stay focused on whatever. Everybody's doing whatever they do. That's great. But don't be moved by what's raining. Don't be moved by what people are doing now. Just do you. Try get ahead of the game and find out, how to be better.
Wow. Yeah, that sums it up. That's pretty much what everybody needs to hear. Because again, me too, I always tell people, like, look, it's a marathon.
Yeah. Take your time.
Pace yourself. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in 2 days. It takes a while. So just like enjoy the journey. I always tell people.
Enjoy the journey.
It's tough, it's hard. That's life, So yeah, I do. Again, like I'm trying to keep it straightforward, and I like the way you really broke everything down from your history to your growth, in media as a young person, acting, and again, we didn't even get into details. There's so many things that I could go into, but you know what? We definitely have to do a part 2.
Definitely.
One is like less busy and all that.
Okay.
I do appreciate you coming through.
Thanks so much for having me.
Planning it for a while, and
But finally, yeah.
and please shout outs to your Nikki.
Will do.
I have to do something with her. I definitely have to talk to her. She's shout out to X-Base, our brother.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, guys. So like, you guys are people I know. You guys are like, in a way, family that is not like close to me, but like you guys are like, we all in the same space.
Yeah. I know the same circle, the same people.
Much. So please, congrats on the, on the bundle of joy coming.
Thank you.
Hopefully we hope to be around, to celebrate.
Yes, so in this same UK.
Yeah.
Well, see now.
How the UK is, man.
Oh boy. Maka and I have been talking back and forth for the past couple of days on how to fix a date to shoot the video. Nothing's just working.
Bruh, it's how do you call it? It's daunting, but then is the way I do my thing is like I just have to pick a date and be like, you know what? I'm gonna
no matter what.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear this whole thing today and get it done like ASAP. I've been doing podcasts like almost, I won't say every day, but like once I get the time, I'll just lock in with the person. Like, come to this time, just do it. I'll edit. I'll do all the edit later. It's the same way with this one. And I know, like, you have to push it. There's so many things going on in your life, and again, we're not trying to like inconvenience people. And so I do appreciate you coming through at the end.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great to make this work.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, thanks so much again, man. I do appreciate it, man.
Anytime, bro.
We'll definitely talk later.
Definitely. All right.
Yeah, later.